Okay, so I took the panel off the inside of the trunk lid, and this here is where the antenna wires lead to. They're linked together just for convenience there, but if you were going to decide to mount the Sirius satellite antenna on the trunk deck lid, that's the wires you would be using. Chances are you would only use one of those two, since most of the units just have a combined output, unless you manage to track down both an antenna and a unit that has the 2-wire output. So that's that. I'm not gonna be drilling through my trunk lid, so I'm gonna mount the antenna up in the front. Okay, now here's the satellite radio unit hooked up temporarily in place. Where it actually has to go is back in here. This bracket that came with it is not the correct bracket. Don't ask me why. The junkyards never include the bracket with these items. I really wish they would. It would make install a whole lot easier, but as it stands, I'm going to have to make a custom bracket to install that. It mounts like up to this bolt here. There's another stud down here, and then it mounts, I don't know, I think over here or something. So okay, so I have my Sirius satellite installed now. Let's see if I can give you an idea of where it goes. Took me a little bit of research. I did not make a video of me making the bracket because I was modifying the existing bracket. And it was also an all-day affair. And to make your bracket, you're going to first check the orientation. Let's see if I can show you. Up there is actually where the plug with the fiber optics fits into. It goes up top. You're actually looking at the back of the unit with the 3 studs for mounting to the bracket. And down the bottom behind here is the antenna plug. And for me, I modified the wrong bracket that was in there, but you'll start with the foot going down to a stud that's down on the bottom floor of the car there, and the only bolt that you'll be able to fit onto there is a 3/8 hex that fits a 3/16 inch stud. This is a self-cutting thread cutting nut that's like the stamped sheet metal one. I've not been able to find any other nut to fit onto there, but use that as your starting point. And this cage here is actually the cell phone antenna. You want to be up above that, or just above that. Then you're going to see a nut with a ground wire up here. That's the other stud that the unit's going to mount to, so you're going to run a bar up and then out, I think it's 3 inches there. And then last but not least, oddly, the third mounting point is all the way over here. So you want to run from the bottom of the unit all the way over to here. I have it covered up in, I forgot I'd covered it up in Gorilla Tape to insulate from noise and rattles. But what I did that in 2 pieces. So I have a stud over here that I mounted, just a bolt into the bracket. And so that after this was mounted, I put this into place, swung it over, had a hole, drilled a hole in it, put it onto that stud and bolted it down. and that made it a whole lot easier. If you do it all in one piece, you're going to have to remove your aromatic tank if you have it. You know, if it's an E320, you won't have this. But it did turn out very secure, and it shouldn't get much any movement, shouldn't be any rattles. Here's my plug for the antenna that I plugged the adapter onto there. And then now we're on to the next step, and final step, which will be mounting the antenna.